So, I feel like this is going to be more of a classic LEGO Rocks 99 style commentary. Not too many graphics on the screen, not too many statistics or numbers or whatever, just an idea, just a commentary topic, and just a ramble. This is kind of the classic style, and it's always nice to return to the roots, isn't it? Because today what I wanted to do was dive into a tweet that I saw yesterday during the New York Rangers and Vancouver Canucks game. It involves a former Vancouver Canucks superstar, a 100-point player whose tenure with the team was as polarizing as it was successful. Today I wanted to talk about JT Miller and what Raymond Hatt had to say during yesterday's hockey game. I bet you Miller wishes he didn't nix a trade to the Colorado Avalanche right now. He chose the Rangers over the Avs. That's actually wild, LOL. So this is a commentary about regret. Regret? I've had a few. Something like that. Let's get into Miller here now, shall we? There was a funny part in yesterday's game where JT was... Okay, let's just say it right here. He was angry, for a good chunk of the game. Wasn't doing all too well. Of course, the Rangers got shut out at home again. He's the captain of the team. But there was a moment in, the second period of yesterday's Rangers game where JT Miller accidentally skated into the Canucks zone with the puck offside. And then because it was offside, because the play was blown dead, he slammed the puck against the end boards. He just kind of threw it, shot it, whatever verb you want to use. And the camera cut to Brock Besser on the Canucks bench, telling his teammates, oh, he's mad. And that was a really funny moment because I don't think a lot of the Canucks players got it right away. I think he was sitting with Evander Kane and Marco Rossi, so obviously those guys did not play with JT Miller last year or the years before with Vancouver. But I thought it was super hilarious, Brock literally acknowledging on the bench and the cameras caught it. Yeah, no, JT, he's mad. It happened again. As if it wasn't a common occurrence with the Vancouver Canucks. I feel like in that situation, it's yeah, okay. You probably saw the guy rip into Elias Pettersson and not get along with 11.6 for most of his time with the Vancouver Canucks. It's probably a very easy tell to see when he is upset, and when he's slamming the puck against the boards, obviously you would say that that's a lot more likely than not. But ultimately, let's refer back to that idea at the beginning of the video that JT Miller may or may not be regretting nixing a trade to Colorado. And one of the first replies to this tweet is posted right underneath by Dagger. For some guys, playing hockey, this is just a job. They punch in and punch out. Miller is an East Coast guy, and wanted to finish his contract there. Not a real surprise. For a guy as competitive as him, you're saying he's just punching in and out? It doesn't mean they just show up and coast. For many guys, this is a job, and where they play is important and has nothing to do with where that team is in the standings. Then there also are some conversations oh, Miller's wife apparently would have been interested in New York, yada yada yada, but I do think that it is worth it to acknowledge the nuance here, because JT Miller, as we've come to learn over the past few years, he isn't exactly the same as a Quinn Hughes type of player. He's not specifically only winning all the time. That's the only thing he cares about, yada, yada, yada. There is a little bit of room to breathe when it comes to JT and his vested interests as a National Hockey League player. It's quite clear that even though he is super competitive, there was always going to be that element of, hey, he wants to go back to New York. Not because they're super amazing, but because it's New York, and there is a connection there. Colorado is a team that he apparently did reject going to because it's in the middle of the Americas. It's not close to New York. It's not close to where he grew up. It's not close to the area in which he got drafted and started his NHL career. Of course, we know Miller is from the Pittsburgh area, so obviously there is a connection in that spot. Would there have been some sort of affinity if Miller got traded to the Penguins? Who really knows? But Colorado seems like it probably would have been too far away. And I think about some of the other situations around the NHL where we learn about players' desires and what specific areas they want to go to. I've only really been confused like once or twice. I think for Matthew Tkachuk, a lot of folks were kind of speculating where it was he was going to be interested in going to, and it was around St. Louis, Dallas, Nashville, that sort of spot. So when he landed in Florida, it was like, okay, well, that's almost there. You're kind of breaching a little bit southeast in that respect, but it's still in that warmer American area. And then for Johnny Gaudreau, I think that's the only time we've been really confused. It was like, yeah, no, the guy wants to go back to Philly, right? He wants to go to Philly, New Jersey, any of these teams in that same metro area. Nope, sorry, he chooses Columbus. And then it's like, oh, well, his wife got an opportunity. So he's doing the ultimate family man thing. Rest in peace, Johnny Gaudreau. But for JT Miller, I'm specifically thinking about it like, this guy definitely played a hand in where it was he was going to go. We all recognize that. He wanted to go to New York. He's now the captain of the team. There's a big responsibility there. But if he was just a Quinn Hughes type, if he had that personality where it was like, okay, I don't care about the location, just send me where I'm going to win. Screw playing with my brothers. I want to play on a team that can compete for the cup every single year. If Quinn Hughes chose Minnesota over a team like New Jersey or what have you, I wonder what Miller would have been like if he had chosen Colorado over the New York Rangers. I mean, last year, you take a look at the NHL standings, the Rangers were still on the outside of the playoff race looking in. And Colorado was comfortably in a Central Division top 3 spot. Of course, that's like at the end of the season. Miller was traded before then, so maybe it's a little more difficult to fully fit that into the conversation. But if JT Miller was super concerned about winning in the same way a Quinn Hughes was, for example, then why wouldn't you accept a trade to Colorado? Why wouldn't you allow yourself to go and play with McKinnon and Makar? Whether or not the timeline would have allowed you to play with a Rantanen or a Necas, or maybe you don't because a Necas gets traded to Vancouver or whatever, that's besides the point. But Miller with Makar and McKinnon, the 3 M's, if you wanted to say that, that sounds like a really good pairing. Like, Miller at his absolute peak, playing his best hockey, would mesh really well with all those top players, and I just wonder if they were able to keep Necas as well, or Rantanen. I don't think they would have been able to, but if they did, what exactly would that power play look like? You know, Miller, Necas, McKinnon, Makar, and then whomever else you want to toss out there, Lehkonen, I guess. There's a lot to like out of what a Miller-filled Colorado Avalanche team would have looked like. And I'm saying that fully knowing that the Colorado Avalanche are a total wagon this year, and all their guys are at the top of the NHL points race. I mean, Marty Necas, everybody was like, yeah, no, that guy's never going to be able to score all the points that he had done in Carolina last year ever again. But it's like, oh, no, he will. Just put him with McKinnon and Makar. And for JT, it's like, yeah, the guy was a 100-point scorer. He probably would be in that same territory again if he was just with these new guys. So with all that in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you buy into the notion that a guy like JT Miller is probably regretting his choice of getting traded to New York over nixing that trade to the Colorado Avalanche? Do you think that would have been a better move for his career? Do you think that would have been a better move for his family? Obviously, that plays a part into it. JT and Natalie Miller are super involved in the community. It's one of the reasons why losing JT was such a big hit, not just because of his on-ice production, but because, like, Natalie Miller would set up a lot of the Canucks fundraising stuff, and it was super good. I mean, there was a lot of positive energy from that family in this city. Maybe not if your name is Pedersen, but, like, everybody else in the community. There was a lot to like there, and obviously JT would prioritize the well-being and comfort of his folks, so with that in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Colorado was a missed opportunity here for the Millers? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. 9 and bye.